Welcome back everybody to the channel. It's me, Alejandro Mendoza, or the Andrei Chicano. Either way how you say it, it's all good here. And we're back again for another video, and today we're going to commence this special journey that we're going to take on this channel, and that is what I am calling the Andrei Tarkovsky retrospective. And today we're going to be starting that journey by reviewing his first film, Ivan's Childhood, on Blu-ray from the Criterion Collection. Basically, what we're going to do throughout this journey, we're going to be looking at the filmography of Andrei Tarkovsky. We're only going to be skipping one film, and that is Mirror, because I've already done a Blu-ray review for that film, and you can find that on the channel, and I will go ahead and link it or put it in a little card up here or something like that, right? But we're going to be doing all of those films. We're going to be doing Blu-ray reviews for all of them. Most of them are in the Criterion Collection, but two of them are on Kino Lorber, and I'm going to be doing reviews of those two as well. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Andrei Tarkovsky is one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. He is a filmmaker that changed my life when I watched Stalker for the first time, and I can't wait to look at his filmography again and look at these transfers that are being presented by some of the best companies out there. If that sounds like something you're interested in, like physical media and movies, then you want to go ahead and stick around here for a while. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of content that drops on channel. Leave a like on this video, and it'll help go ahead and get this video out to everybody else and get this video to more eyes. If you want to go ahead and take it a step further, and it is appreciated but it is not mandatory, I do have a Patreon set up over at patreon.com/TheAndreiChicano. You can go and check that out for early access to the videos like this one and video essays. I actually have an Andrei Tarkovsky video essay up on Stalker, which you can see by joining one of the tiers on the Patreon. But without further ado, let's go ahead and look at this film from the auteur, Andrei Tarkovsky. Of course, I can't do a dive into Andrei Tarkovsky's life. I've done that when I did my episode of The Cinema Condition with Brad on Stalker. It is like number 38, maybe? I can't remember, but I know it's up there, and it's in the podcast feed on this channel. So if you want to go ahead and check out the video, I'll probably link it or put a card up for it as well. But point is, I've done an introduction of Andrei's life, and he has had an incredible life. He's had a really long life with a lot of accomplishments, and of course he was sadly taken away from us by cancer. So that all that information is in that episode of the Cinema Condition. But for now, let's go ahead and look at the back of this Blu-ray from the Criterion Collection. Ivan's Childhood, a film by Andrei Tarkovsky. The debut feature by the great Andrei Tarkovsky, Ivan's Childhood, is a poetic journey through the shards and shadows of one boy's war-ravaged youth, moving back and forth between the traumatic realities of World War II and serene moments of family life before the conflict began. Tarkovsky's film remains one of the most jarring and unforgettable depictions of the impact of war on children. Included in this Blu-ray special edition is a high-definition digital restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack, interview with film scholar Vida T. Johnson, co-author of the films of Andrei Tarkovsky, A Visual Fugue, interviews with cinematographer Vadim Yuzov and actor Nikolai Borliev, plus a booklet featuring an essay by film scholar Dina Yordanova, between two films, an essay by Tarkovsky on Ivan's Childhood, and Ivan's Willow, a poem by the director's father, Arseny Tarkovsky. This is the front of the art. This is the back. This is the spine. And the film comes in at spine number 397 in the Criterion Collection, and you go ahead and just open it up here, and you're treated to this booklet, which I really like the design of this booklet, y'all. It's really cool, and it of course includes the things I just read and some of the stills and art from the film and production notes and transfer notes and all that. But A lot of really cool stuff in here, y'all. They did a really good job on this booklet, but it looks really good. Then you have the Blu-ray disc, and then you have the back of the Blu-ray case, and it's, it has some nice art right there. But yeah, that is the packaging for Andrei Tarkovsky's Ivan's Childhood on Blu-ray for the Criterion Collection. I watched this film a long while ago. When we did our Andrei Tarkovsky month on Nerdcore, years ago. I think that was actually 2020, because the pandemic was hitting hard and I was back home. But yeah, I think it was around that time we did that month, and my God, man, I watched this film and I fell in love with it. But it wasn't the first film from Tarkovsky I watched. I think it was actually like the third or fourth, because we had watched Stalker first, and that one opened my eyes wide open to what Tarkovsky's filmography is. And I had watched Solaris right after that, and then we went into this one, Ivan's Childhood, and I really liked it on the first watch, but I thought that it was definitely the weakest out of the films that I watched that month. And I can say that on a rewatch, this movie is vastly improved. I really stuck with the story this time around. Maybe it's because I knew what was coming and I was able to, understand more of what Andrei Tarkovsky was doing in this film. I think it is also kind of a disservice to him that he does this film with less than like 2-3 hours, because I think that Tarkovsky is one of those filmmakers that uses all the time he can get to his advantage. And this film was 1 hour and 35 minutes, and sometimes I felt that the film was, dragging a little bit towards the end of the film. But I think that if this movie just would have been a little bit longer and a little bit more time to spend with Ivan and finding more about his family through those flashbacks, I think it would have done a better job. But I gotta say, I love this movie. I think that there's bits and pieces of what Tarkovsky's filmography is going to become, and you can find it within Ivan's Childhood, especially the cinematography, especially the way that he concentrates on water and on nature. It all comes to, give you that foreshadowing of what Tarkovsky's filmography is going to look like down the line. Nikolai Burlayev does an incredible job at portraying the horrors of Ivan, and as he, continues to try to find his peace and his revenge through the acts that happen to his family. I mean, it's a film that doesn't really hold back what it's trying to say, and it says it like with a fierce and ferocious anger behind it, but also a tense and tender way of looking at his family. It's a really great film, y'all. I mean, I think it's one of the best films about war, especially about war's effect on kids. But I gotta say, when it comes to like the filmography of Andrei Tarkovsky, I definitely put this on the lower end, but I think it is an amazing film. It's one that I think everybody should start with. I think you should see where Tarkovsky starts and then go from there, because I think this is probably his most accessible work. You don't want to start off with Stalker or Solaris, because it's difficult to start from there and then go back to this. But when you start with this, you really do see the incredible filmmaking techniques that Tarkovsky will employ later on in his career. Now let's talk about the transfer. This is a high definition digital restoration presented on a Blu-ray disc. I watched it on my Panasonic 4K player on a TCL 4K TV, and I've got to say that this upscaled looks fantastic on the TV. I really like the way that the contrast shows on this film. There are moments in this movie where it's like really dark and you don't really see a lot. You see light peeking in, yes, but it's very high contrast, and it processes pretty well on the TV. I think that it does a good job at that. I really liked how much grain was kept. Of course, the resolution isn't going to be super crisp and like really, extravagant like we've seen from other films. I'm thinking about, Mirror, that has an incredible 2K restoration, and the restoration, has a really good resolution to it. But in this one, in Ivan's Childhood, it's good, it's not perfect, but it does its job. And yeah, I really like the way that they cleaned this up. They made sure to, use the original camera negative to go ahead and clean up some of the, the debris and the scratches. And they did a really good job of being able to present a really good cleanup and restoration of this film. I especially really like the way that, the water is captured on that film stock, and because of the restoration, it's able to show it so clearly, and the sunlight peeking off on it and bouncing off just looks beautiful on my TV. Overall, I think they did a great job on the video aspect, and when it comes to the audio, I think they did good too. I have nothing to complain about. The music sounds balanced, the dialogue sounds balanced, there's no scratching, there's no hissing, there's no popping. Everything sounds good. It sounds like, they put some work into it to make sure that it sounds as balanced and as good as our video soundtrack here. I mean video track, I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumbled all over the place, y'all, but you know what I mean. I think that Ivan Strelgood's video and audio restorations are fantastic. They did a great job at being able to present this film from 1962 in a new light, but still keeping to what made it look great and beautiful back in 1962. I think that this movie is an incredible film from Andrei Tarkovsky. It's one that I recommend everybody watches, and I recommend you pick this up during the Criterion sale. It's only going to be $20, so you can't really go wrong there. But of course, we're going to be looking at Andrei Rublev next, and I'm really excited because that is a 4K digital restoration, so I'm really excited to see how that will look on my TV. But of course, if you want to go ahead and keep up to date with me on all things social media, make sure you follow me at The Nerd Chicano on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Serialized, and on Letterboxd. I'm the same handle on all of them, so go ahead and check me out there. I'll follow you guys back. Check out what we're doing over there at the Nerdcore by following us at thenerdcore.com. It's our website, Twitch and YouTube at the Nerdcore, and our Twitter's the Nerdcore_. Check all of those platforms out so that way you can stay connected with what we're doing over there. We're doing some really cool stuff lately, some great reviews and great content for y'all. I'll go ahead and see you all next week as we continue on with this retrospective. But in the meantime, to my wonderful cinephiles and renowned scholars, celebrate the love of cinema today, tomorrow, and every day after. Catch you all in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.